Hello everyone. Today I will solve the tutorial question. So the first question that I will solve is flow between parallel plates. In this question we have two plates which are placed parallel to each other. One of these plates, which is the bottom plate, is stationary and it is not moving, so here the velocity is 0. And the second plate, which is at the top and which is at a distance h from the bottom plate, is moving with velocity v, capital V. So what I will do now is I will solve the momentum balance equation to find the velocity profile. And for that, the first thing after understanding this question, what I will do is define a coordinate system. So what I am defining is that in the x direction you have the upper plate moving, so we can imagine that fluid will also be moving in the same direction. The direction of the momentum, we consider it to be x direction, and the direction in which the two plates are separated from each other is the direction y. So I have set my coordinate system like this. So drawing the plates again in xy plane, what I get is that these are the plates where the upper plate is moving with velocity v. This is y direction, this is x direction, momentum is in x direction, and in direction y the distance between the two plates is given by a quantity h. Now we need to consider that your density is not changing with time and space, so that means your continuity equation del rho by del t plus del dot rho v, which we have solved in the previous video, now reduces to this becoming 0 because this is not changing, and because rho is constant, so rho can come out of the gradient, so this becomes del dot v is equal to 0. Your viscosity is also not changing, so constant viscosity is another assumption. And then we assume that we have a steady state, and then we have a fully developed flow. I will explain the fully developed flow in a bit. So here we can see that velocity can have three components. One is Vx, one is Vy, one is Vz. In x direction we do have velocity. In y direction, if we consider that we have a fully developed flow, we do not see any element going in the y direction. So if we have a laminar flow and your layers are like this, then you do not have any flow going in y direction, so velocity in y direction is 0. And because of symmetry in the plane perpendicular to the plane xy, the velocity is not there, so vz is also equal to 0. So that means we have only vx and we need to solve only for vx. Now vx can be function of x, y and z. In the z direction, which is perpendicular to the plane, if we take any xy plane at any z, you will see that velocity profile is not going to change because of the symmetry. So in z direction, intuitively we can see that vx will not be dependent on z. Then because we have a fully developed flow, the definition of fully developed flow is that if we have velocity in x direction, then it should not be dependent on the direction in which it is moving, so it should not be a function of x. So this is fully developed flow, but you can use your continuity equation that del dot v is equal to 0, so that means del vx by del x plus del vy by del y plus del vz by del z is equal to 0. Vy and vz are 0, so these become automatically 0. Vx is not 0, but because of this equation now we know that del vx by del x is equal to 0. This is only possible when vx is not a function of x, so this implies vx is only a function of y, so that means the velocity which is in x direction is dependent only on y. So this we get by applying the continuity equation, and now using these assumptions and this continuity equation and this information that we get from continuity equation, I will apply the momentum balance equation. Now the momentum balance equation is that rate of accumulation of momentum is equal to rate of momentum in minus rate of momentum out plus sum of the forces. So you just need to remember this, and then if you remember this, then we will see how you can apply this. So now rate of accumulation of momentum, because we have steady state, there will not be any accumulation of momentum, because that means things are changing with time. So this term is automatically 0. So the equation that we have is 0 is equal to rate of momentum in minus rate of momentum out plus sum of the forces is equal to 0. So as we discussed, that rate of momentum in will be in two parts, that is rate of convective momentum in minus rate of convective momentum out, then plus rate of viscous momentum in minus rate of viscous momentum out plus sum of the forces is equal to 0. So I will write and explain each of these terms separately in this particular context. Before I do that, we need to first define where we want to apply this equation. For that, first of all, I will need to choose my shell. I will choose my shell in the direction where velocity is changing, and we know that Vx is a function of y. So I will choose a shell in y direction with a differential element delta y or dy, and this is between y and y plus delta y. So now this is my shell where I will apply this equation. To apply this equation in this particular element, now you can consider this element to be 3D. So now rate of convective momentum. Now convective momentum can go in the direction of the velocity itself. So that means if velocity is in this direction, then inlet of the convective momentum will be from this surface and outlet will be from this surface. So then what is the area of this surface from where the momentum is going in? The area is delta y multiplied by w, where we assume that the width of the plates is w, which is very large. So delta y w is the width of the plate, and if we multiply this with the velocity vx, we will get the total volumetric flow rate in, and if we multiply this with density, we will get the total mass flow rate in, and mass flow rate in multiplied by the velocity again will give us the rate of momentum that is going in. So this is the total rate of momentum, convective momentum that is going in. This is the mass rate multiplied by velocity. This is happening at x is equal to 0. And now we go to the other end where the convective momentum is coming out. Again the mass flow rate is delta y w rho Vx. Now this Vx is same as this Vx. This is because we know that Vx, if we are choosing a differential element dy, Vx is not changing in x direction because we have a fully developed flow. So this Vx and Vx in a given delta y are same. So we are choosing the same delta y, we are not changing our shell. This is the rate of mass out, and multiplied by velocity will give us the rate of momentum out, and out is happening at some x is equal to L. So these take care of these two quantities, and as you can see, all the terms are same. Vx is not changing, Vx is not changing. So these will cancel out. So I am already cancelling these out here. So I will not carry these forward. And now we come to the second part, which is the rate of viscous momentum in. As we had discussed, the rate of viscous momentum in or out will happen in the direction which is perpendicular to the direction of flow. The direction of flow is x and the rate of momentum transfer will be in y direction. The momentum flux is given by tau, where the direction of the transfer is y and the direction of momentum is x. So this is a tensor quantity. Now tau yx is the momentum flux and we need to multiply the area from where your momentum is going in is this area, and from this area we can see that this is w multiplied by l, that at y, and minus rate of momentum out will be happening at y plus delta y. So this will be happening at this particular surface which is a little bit above in y. So this will be tau yx wl at y plus delta y. We don't know if tau yx is changing or not changing with y or not, but for the time being we will assume that tau yx is changing because we know that w and l is not changing with y. And then we need to take into account the forces. The forces that we generally take into account is the pressure force. If the pressure is being applied, then pressure will be applied at this surface and at this surface, because here you will see that everywhere here or in the convective momentum we were talking about x momentum everywhere. So if we are talking about x momentum, then we will have to talk about all the forces that are being applied in the x direction, and here at this surface and at this surface the pressure will exert a force which will be pointing in x direction, positive or negative. And another force that we can have in some cases is gravity force, but in this particular case the gravity is perpendicular. So here now, because we are not given any pressure at this boundary or this boundary, so we will assume that we are not applying any pressure drop. So the forces because of the pressure are zero. Gravity is perpendicular, so in x direction gravity is zero. So there is no force applied. So if there is no force applied, then how the fluid is moving? Fluid is moving because we are moving this upper plate with some external force and keeping this velocity to be v. So when we apply the no slip boundary condition at this boundary, that will take care of this external force, because this external force is not being applied directly on the fluid but on the plate. So it will be taken care of by the no slip boundary condition. So only thing that we have now is that this is equal to 0. So now we divide by the whole equation with w l delta y. So this gives us that d minus d tau yx by dy is equal to 0. So this implies tau yx is equal to some constant. So now we want to solve this, and here we will simply use Newton's law of viscosity, and that is that minus mu del Vx by del y is equal to some constant. So this implies your Vx is equal to minus c by mu y plus some c naught. So now our task is to find c and c naught to find the velocity profile. So for that we need to have some boundary condition, and the boundary conditions are that at y is equal to 0 your Vx is equal to 0 and y is equal to h, your Vx is equal to capital V. So if we put the first boundary condition, it will imply that C naught is equal to 0. So that means your Vx is equal to minus C by mu y. Now this is also a constant, so I can replace with this constant as k. So Vx is equal to ky. And now Vx at y is equal to h is capital V. So that means V is equal to kh. So k is equal to V by h. So this implies that my velocity Vx is V by hy. So this is the velocity profile that we get. So now at home what you can do is you can also use a given pressure drop here, that here pressure is P1, here pressure is P2. Then what would be the differential equation, because then this differential equation will change. There's plus a sum of forces term will come, and then you will be able to find a separate velocity profile.